Told Matthew Knowles that you were pregnant with his child. How did he react?
Very much. Well, you can't get pregnant by me. It can't be my child. You can't deny it once DNA test comes out 99.9% that you are the...
All single ladies, all single.
Baby, let's get into it. The Carters and the Knowles clan have managed to keep a lot under wraps in the industry, but one thing they can't hide? Those powerful, unmistakable genes. Just take a look at this photo. Tell me that doesn't look like a younger Beyoncé staring right back at you. That's because this isn't just a lookalike. It's actually her half-sister. And the older she gets, the more she keeps morphing into a mix of Beyoncé and Solange. It's wild. But hold up, she's not the only half-sibling in the mix. You already know Matthew Knowles had his fair share of headline-making moments, and today, we're breaking down just how far things really went and why Beyoncé and Solange seem to keep their distance from these extended family ties. Let's start with Beyoncé's first known half-sister, Coy. She's the daughter Matthew had with Coy Branscombe. And can we just pause to say, this girl is glowing up like a star. Seriously, she is stunning. And those eyes? They're giving major Beyoncé vibes. Look close and you'll see it. Those are the same piercing eyes that run in the family. Now, her mom, Coy Branscombe, didn't stay quiet either. She actually spilled a little about how she met Matthew. And get this, she said they met while she was working as a dancer. Yep, it all started backstage. Back when things were hot and heavy, Matthew was treating Sequoia like she was his one and only during their secret affair, but that all flipped the moment she told him she was pregnant with Coy. Instead of stepping up, he straight up bounced.
Matthew Knowles that you were pregnant with his child. How did he react?
Very much. Well, you can't get pregnant by me. It can't be my child. You can't deny it once DNA test comes out 99.9% that you are the...
All single ladies, all single.
And not only did he walk away, but he also had the nerve to deny Coy was even his until a DNA test shut all that down. Like, seriously? Now here's where it gets even messier. Reports say that Sequoia wasn't just some random woman, she was actually tight with Solange. Word is they met through a stylist back in 2008 and were spotted hitting up clubs and bars together around Texas like real ones. They were out here having girls' nights while Matthew was creeping behind the scenes. And get this! Matthew allegedly knew Sequoia and Solange were friends, but still kept the affair going. Meanwhile, Solange had no clue what was really happening behind her back. Sequoia eventually owned up to her part in all of this drama. But wow, the whole thing was a total storm. Sequoia didn't hold back when she finally spoke out. She name-dropped Tina, Solange, and Beyoncé and came clean about the whole messy situation. In an interview with Inside Edition, she confessed, "Yes, I slept with a married man and it was the wrong thing to do, but I have a beautiful daughter that came out of the situation." Whew! At least she owned it. But things got even colder when she revealed that Beyoncé refused to have anything to do with her half-sister Coy. Despite the legal war with Matthew, Sequoia still held on to some hope that maybe, just maybe, her daughter might get the chance to meet Beyoncé one day. She said, hey, they are half-sisters, so maybe one day down the line, that will be possible.
I'm in the middle of the fight for my son's rights. I got over 1,000 death threats last week alone.
What?
Because this article said that I blame Beyoncé, which again, let me say for the record, it's not her fault. I've never blamed her. I want the best for her. Everyone's...
But here's the kicker. It's been years since she gave that interview, and still, no word from Beyoncé or Solange. They've never reached out. Not even once. And this family drama doesn't stop there. Coy isn't the only surprise sibling. Beyoncé and Solange also have a half-brother named Nixon. He's the son Matthew had with Alexandra Wright. And yep, you guessed it. He denied him too at first and refused to pay a dime in child support. Things got so bad that Alexandra and little Nixon ended up in a homeless shelter. Can you believe that? She was left out here struggling to survive while Matthew kept it moving, like nothing happened. Now look, just like with Coy, Beyoncé and Solange have kept their distance from Nixon too. But here's the twist. His mother, Alexandra Wright, made it loud and clear that she doesn't blame Beyonce at all for what went down with her and Matthew. She said her issue isn't with the daughters. It's with the man who caused all the chaos. Alexandra even took accountability herself. She admitted that she played a role in hurting Tina, Beyonce, and Solange. That's rare in stories like this. She laid it all out in an open letter, writing, "It is with a heavy heart that we must head back to Superior Court to continue the fight for the rights of my son, Nixon Knowles, who has proven to be Matthew Knowles' biological son." She didn't stop there. She explained how her family tried everything outside of court to get Matthew to step up and follow through on his responsibilities. They were pleading for him to follow the legal judgment that had already been approved by California's Superior Court. Alexandra also gave a peek into how things started between them, saying that in the beginning, she and Matthew actually had a respectful working relationship. There was mutual admiration, even professionalism, until everything fell apart behind closed doors. Alexandra shared that when she first crossed paths with Matthew, she was already doing well for herself. She had a solid career, financially stable, and didn't need saving. Matthew stepped in like a mentor, offering guidance and business advice, making it seem like he was someone she could trust. But over time, that professional bond turned personal, and the line got blurred. She claimed she never meant to hurt anyone, but the damage was already done. In a heartfelt moment, she publicly apologized to Tina, Beyonce, and Solange for everything. She said, "I regret the pain that I have contributed to his family and to my own family. I have the utmost respect and admiration for both of his daughters. They are both lovely women." She even added that she wishes one day she could tell Tina face to face how sorry she is for all the hurt this brought into her life. But wait, it doesn't end there. Rumor has it, there's also an older brother out there somewhere. And honestly, who even knows how many more siblings might exist? At this point, the family tree's got branches nobody's even mapped out yet. And let's be real, maybe Beyonce and Solange keep their distance not out of spite, but because it's just too much to keep up with. Some folks out here are even saying they don't get why people expect them to connect with all these half-siblings popping up from every direction. Let's get one thing straight. Beyonce and Solange aren't under any kind of obligation to build bonds with their half-siblings. None. Adultery doesn't just wreck a marriage, it hits the whole family like a wrecking ball. It's not just Tina who got betrayed. Her daughters had to watch it all go down in real time. That kind of damage? It cuts deep. Imagine growing up and seeing your dad out here embarrassing your mom over and over again, publicly. Then on top of that, he's having more kids left and right, like living reminders of everything he put your family through. That's not something anyone just shrugs off. The emotional weight of that kind of betrayal? Heavy. But on the flip side, plenty of people argue that the half-siblings didn't ask to be born into the drama. And they're right. These kids didn't choose this mess. Some folks believe they still deserve a chance at a real relationship with their sisters, even if the circumstances are messy.
Met Jay-Z
Yes.
and had intercourse with him. How old was she?
I would say I think she was about 16, 17, or 16, just turning 16 or 17. I know it was one of them.
And Jay-Z was what age?
I wouldn't happen to know. I think was he in his 20s?
I read 22.
Yeah.
I think I read 22, but he was in his 20s.
Yes, I wouldn't happen to know his age, but 22, I'm pretty sure if they put that out there, then
Yeah.
that's what his age was.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just want to point out to our audience that Jay-Z having with a minor would make that child because she was underage at the time. And then furthermore, the fact that he took her from one state to another state, I imagine would be in a violation of...
Alexandra once revealed something heartbreaking. She said Beyonce bought a house just 10 miles away from their trailer. And in that same breath, she shared how her son Nixon has asked her the toughest question. Why doesn't that person love me? Like, How do you even answer that? She also opened up about struggling to help Nixon find his identity, to stand on his own 2 feet despite all this. Still, she's hopeful. She believes that the next generation, their kids and grandkids, might grow up with more understanding and finally start the conversation that never happened. Apparently, one thing that really eats at Alexandra is how people treat Nixon. She said it's wild. Kids at school straight up ask him if he's Beyonce's brother, like it's normal to come at a child like that. And the grown folks? They're no better. They're out here snapping pictures of him like he's some kind of public attraction. Nixon's never had the chance to just be a regular kid.
Thing came when a friend of mine who knew her, somebody in her camp, and she said something supposedly, this is all hearsay, about regarding saying Ramir needs to go away little boy, something to that effect. There was something out there with the song they made. And then next thing I know, somebody was at my property. Somebody came to my property in the evening time and had a conversation about trying to get in.
And what makes it worse? Knowing that the people he's connected to by blood want nothing to do with him. That hits hard. Now, folks have started talking, saying Beyonce and Solange are straight up freezing their half-siblings out. Like it's not just silence, it's intentional distance. And people are even pointing fingers at Bey for allegedly controlling who gets acknowledged in her own household. Some are claiming that she doesn't even let Jay-Z acknowledge his other children. Yep, word on the street is that she's allegedly told him not to have anything to do with them either. Take Ramir Satterthwaite, for example. His mother, Wanda, says she hooked up with Jay-Z back in '92 at his aunt's apartment in Brooklyn after he first met her in Philly. She said they used protection. But it failed. After that night, she only saw him once more 2 weeks later. And then he vanished from their lives. No calls, no visits, no nothing.
I've been hearing that Jay-Z was my father all my life. There's no way that he can deny anything, especially when people were there that know him. And we were there, he just looked at me and he was like, Dad. The Haven was in my living room. He was talking to my mom. I was gonna leave it alone. They brought me one of those ancestry tests. Finally, I get some type of answers. He knows that.
Wanda said she had no way of contacting Jay-Z after that one night, and it wasn't until Ramir was around 8 years old that she told him she believed Jay-Z was his father. Imagine being a kid and hearing something like that. Since then, Ramir's been trying to get Jay to take responsibility, but it's been a long, frustrating road. Over a decade now of silence, court filings, and doors slammed shut. And recently, things got even messier. In the last few months, it came out that Jay-Z's legal team may have misled the court. They claim they misspoke, but that slip-up raised major eyebrows. Even though Jay-Z has denied everything in court, reports say he was allegedly trying to settle the case behind the scenes. If that's true, why the hush-hush? It gets darker. Ramir said that after filing a civil suit against Jay-Z, someone actually tried to harm him. He claimed someone fired shots at him, and that he and his family have been dealing with threats and intimidation tactics for years. That's terrifying. His godmother, Dr. Lily, didn't stay quiet either. She firmly believes that Beyoncé herself played a big role in stopping Jay-Z from acknowledging Ramir or settling things peacefully. And she even dropped a shocking claim that Beyoncé and Jay-Z may have taken jabs at Ramir through their music, mocking him in the most public way possible. But wait, Ramir isn't the only one claiming to be connected to Jay-Z by blood. Enter Letitia Macer, who came out with her own jaw-dropping story on Instagram. She said, "I've been quiet for far too long." Then she dropped the bomb, claiming she's Jay-Z's daughter and has spent her whole life living in his shadow. Letitia went on to say that everyone in her city knew Jay-Z was her father, but she stayed strong, raising 4 kids, including a set of twins, working 2 jobs at a prison and a hospital, all while juggling school full-time. and battling multiple sclerosis. That's a whole lot of pressure to carry, especially while feeling ignored by the man she believes is her dad. According to Letitia, she was born in 1990 after her mother, Lisa, got introduced to Jay-Z by Lisa's sister. The two apparently hit it off fast and got into a romantic relationship. And the sister? She backed it all up in a Facebook post saying, "I know the story from start to finish. I hooked your mother and father up years ago." She even dropped details, claiming Jay asked about Lisa when she was living on the 500 side of Greenwood Avenue. She said they used to hang out, drink, smoke, play cards, and do some more stuff at that apartment. And it doesn't stop there. One of Jay-Z's former friends, Sino, also backed Letitia's story, saying in 2022 that Jay-Z actually bought her a house in Cambridge, Maryland, and has even been secretly paying her bills. If that's true, then there's definitely more to this than what we're being told. But here's the twist. Letitia allegedly isn't even allowed to hang up pictures of Jay-Z in her house as part of some hush-hush deal. Like, imagine being told you can't even acknowledge your own father on your own walls. That's cold. That same old friend, Sino, also claimed Jay-Z eventually cut all ties with Letitia and left both her and her mother behind. And get this, her mother is now in a wheelchair. Word on the street, Beyonce might have been the one who told Jay to shut it all down and walk away completely. The alleged influence is real. And just when you thought the list was done, there's another claim. This time from a man named Gerald Andrews, who thought he was the father of a child named Malik Saeed. But when he got a DNA test, boom, it proved he wasn't the dad. And guess who he says is the father? None other than Jay-Z. And yes, Malik's mom is reportedly a model named Chanel Scott. The drama just keeps stacking up. And honestly, with everything we know about Jay-Z's past, all the confirmed affairs and the rumors still floating around, I wouldn't be shocked if there were even more kids out there we've never heard about. The man's been moving real quiet in some chapters of his life. So let's be real. If Beyonce's really out here allegedly not letting her husband acknowledge his own biological kids, do you think she's going to be lining up family reunions with her own half-siblings? Doesn't seem likely. But hey, I want to know your take. What do you make of this tangled up, drama-filled family tree? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't just scroll away, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. Share this with a friend who loves the tea, and I'll see you in the next one. Let's keep this conversation going.